All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I don't really know what time it is for you, but it is 1 p.m. for me. And welcome back to SOD Hitman Call channel today for all the returning stars. And for the new ones, you're highly welcome to the community. Today, we're having the team from AscentPad to our community for a very interesting AMA session. Yeah. Founder and the speaker today, we have Mr. Kelvin. So welcome, Kelvin Jones. And if you don't mind, kindly go ahead, introduce yourself and also introduce the project to the community.
Sure. Thanks very much. By the way, just a quick one. Remind me, what do we call you? SOD Hitman?
Oh,
sounds a bit odd, but...
All right. If you don't want to call me SOD Hitman, call me Elegant.
Elegant.
Yes, sir. Yes,
That's
sir.
awesome. I like that name. It's very elegant. Elegant. My name is Kelvin Jones. I don't hide behind a picture or a PFP. I'm an open book. You can find me on LinkedIn. Links to my LinkedIn are found on the project websites, and my work history is there. My background is 25 to 30 years in IT, infrastructure, and cybersecurity. And I'm not the original founder of AscentPad. AscentPad is one of 3 projects and 5 different companies that we work with in total. So LayerOne is the parent company of 2 of the projects, AscentPad and the NFT project that we are using to relaunch AscentPad. And we've got some exciting news to announce today to anyone who's been checking us out. AscentPad, the original founder, Sean Powers from Canada. I'm also from Canada, but I currently live in South Africa. And the business LayerOne is registered in South Africa. Just something that I think I'll throw out there right at the beginning. In South Africa, cryptocurrency is recognized as a financial product. Just FYI. So the South African government is in our favor. Recognizing it as a financial product means that the operations we perform are easily legitimized. That means we also pay our taxes, but regulation, I think, is good, and I'll leave it at that. We won't get into the politics of it. AscentPad was originally founded by Sean Powers, and his goal was to create a place where investors in crypto could safely invest, finding projects as a launch pad. We're going to launch projects that we believe are safe to launch. How are we going to do that? Well, that's one of the other projects I mentioned. I'm just going to share a screen now. I'm just going to throw the website up on screen. We are going to be working closely with an organization called Seek, and you'll see on our About Us page, that's me. I don't hide. My LinkedIn profile is there. My Seek KYC certificate is also there. So if I do bad stuff, they know where to find me. But we work with Seek actually to bring projects to the Launchpad. So we're going to have a pipeline of projects that will come to the Launchpad. These projects will be Seek certified both in contract, and developers or founders will also be KYC certified. We want to do this because we really want our participants to feel confident that they can invest in something, not without risk. Every project has risk. We're not pretending that everything we launch is going to go to 100x or anything like that. But what we are guaranteeing is that 2 things. One, we vetted the project and we agree that they're safe to invest in. Now you do your own research and you invest after that and take responsibility for the decisions that you make. But number 2, should any project do something, what LayerOne has brought to the table now by taking over from Sean Powers, who transferred the project to us in September this year, so just last month, what we bring to the table is a group of cybersecurity specialists. Our lead investigator, Liam, will start the process, and we work closely in the back end of that with the Council of International Investigators, CII. CII, along with us, work on high-profile cryptocurrency fraud cases. 2 of such cases currently in the news, you can look these up, Mirror Trading International and AfriCrypt. On the AfriCrypt case, you'll find Sean Pierce, our private investigator contractor that we work very closely with on these cases. And we recover funds. We are listed in the investigators directory of breadcrumbs.app as well. Breadcrumbs.app is an app that's used for doing blockchain tracing, following the money, As they say, if you want to catch the criminal, follow the money, and that's what Breadcrumbs does. We work with the CyberSec team and the CII, who has 420 private investigators worldwide in 72 countries. If a project we launch pulls a fast one, we have the power to have boots on the ground for an investigation to catch the criminals within 24 to 48 hours in just about any country globally, including Nigeria, just FYI. Just putting that out there. That was just my effort at humor there. Sorry about that. Anyway, so that's what we bring to the table that's unique as a company. So AscentPad is, we've been told it's more than a launch pad now, so we really need to do some rebranding or something like that. And hey, we're open to suggestions from the community, because we're not just a launch pad. We bring our private investigators to the table. We bring cybersecurity efforts to the table. We bring certified projects to the table. We have an NFT project as well, which introduces communities that are used to just the crypto space. Let me buy something, make a quick win, sell my tokens, get some money. We're bringing now the NFTs into this space to introduce everyone to it, because NFTs are more of a long-term investment. And they are art, but recently, and I can send you a link if you want one, to comments by Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank USA, talking about NFTs with the CEO of Circle. Those are the guys that founded USDC cryptocurrency. So Circle and Kevin O'Leary's Circle CEO and Kevin O'Leary spoke about NFTs. What NFTs really need is utility. Well, guess what the Crypto Bronto project did from the outset when we started this project back in January? We introduced utility. The Brontos are going to be a funding mechanism to build an NFT platform that creates an environment that incentivizes buyers, not just creators, although we're going to build really cool stuff into it for creators as the project progresses. The funding has not yet rolled in. The project is sitting there for that purpose. We're going to rely on the community to tell us, yes, let's do this. We will launch safe NFT projects too. Did you know that on OpenSea, as long as you generate, whether it's real or fake, you can do wash trading of NFTs. As long as you generate 100 ETH in revenue on OpenSea, they'll give you a nice blue star saying, hey, here's a verified project. Next thing you know, all the money is gone. They can rug. They verify based on the amount of Ethereum that transacts. They don't bother checking whether or not the people behind it are legit. And that's going to be one of the big differences we bring to the table when our NFT platform eventually launches. So that's the utility we built into the Brontos. That's only a part of it, though. The Bronto NFT will receive dividends or reflections, which is a more common word in the crypto space. The Bronto NFT will receive reflections from activity on the NFT marketplace. NFT holders really have to have a long-term vision, obviously, because we have to build this, implement this, and it won't take long as we get funded to do this. However, right now, we have a very special opportunity to start bringing dividends to some select few Bronto holders very, very soon. And it's with the AscentPad relaunch, which is currently in progress. Brontos numbered 144 through number 600 are the only ones that will receive dividends reflections from the AscentPad project. When AscentPad relaunches, and it was launched, we will have a different tax system. 5% of the taxes is going to go back to the community. It's going to be a 10% tax in total, 5% on buy, 5% on sell, 10% on buy, 10% on sell, and then 5% of the buy tax will go back to the community, 5% of the sell tax goes back to the community, and the other 5% we use for development and marketing and. We're just keeping it simple. So these Brontos up to number 600 are going to start earning dividends as soon as we launch. Launch date has not yet been set. We're waiting on the community, and currently we are protecting everyone's current investment by not launching right now. Right now we're expecting a seasonal peak. Usually this time of year, markets start to go up a little bit. You may have heard news out of the US today, which boosted the markets a bit. So that trend is now in full swing up until December. January will likely see the bear market again and a 20% drop from where Bitcoin sits today. Everyone is targeting about a $15,000 Bitcoin. So what we're doing now, we are funding the development of the project and the relaunch. we need to mint up to Bronto number 600. The soft cap has changed, and here's why. We were originally robbed. So those in the community listening now who are just hearing this story for the first time, during the process of transferring the project from Ascension Tech in Canada to LayerOne in South Africa, we had not yet been given the keys to the liquidity pool. The day that the liquidity unlocked on Pink Sale, someone else besides the original founder, Sean, had the keys. We do know of one person those keys were given to. We ruled him out, but that's as far as we went. We didn't go any further. We don't know how or whoever else got those keys. We immediately followed our process. Being professionals in this space, the first thing you have to do in any rug situation or theft is report it to your local authorities. It doesn't matter the country you're in. If you're a victim, report it to your local authorities. So here's a pro tip for everyone out there. If you've had a massive rug on your hands, those who are impacted the most should go to the local authorities and report it. Yes, most of you are probably going, yeah, my local authorities aren't going to do anything about that. We know that. We know that. And they are seriously understaffed and underfunded, and they don't. And that's why we exist. That's why we have private investigators for this kind of thing. However, in order to legally recover anything, you have to report it to the authorities first. Do that, take the case file, and then you go to your lawyers locally and you get a case open. With a mandate from lawyers, we can then start get our private investigators on the case and go after the money. So we did that with AscentPad. As soon as the liquidity pool was stolen in September, we immediately made an offer to the criminals. We had a little insight, and I'll be honest, because we had insight, we were able to recover the funds much more quickly than we can in a normal case. If you look up AfriCrypt and MTI, you'll see those have been in the courts for about 2 years now. In this case, though, we had a feeling it was an inside person. So we basically said to the Telegram community and the Discord community and the Twitter community, guys, whoever stole it, give us back 80%. We'll unlock it. What we did on the day this happened, we immediately worked with the devs to lock up the liquidity pool so it couldn't be easily unlocked, and it required developers to unlock it, plus the ownership keys, and the criminal didn't want to give us back the liquidity into the owner's wallet in order to unlock it, so they kept it, and we kept it locked, and we said, give us back 80% and we'll unlock it. They didn't. A little while later, I decided, okay, let's get our cybersec team on the case then. And we made it public. We let everyone know, look, guys, we haven't had any movement. We're refunding, we're relaunching the project. We're using the NFT. Let's go. But here's what we want to do. I'm going to get our cybersec team. We're going to reward them with 20% of the liquidity pool if they do the recovery of this for us. We let everyone know because we knew the person who stole it was likely watching. We immediately, because we did this legally, we immediately got cooperation from Binance, who said, no problem, we'll turn over the logs you need, just get us a subpoena. We then we let everyone know that's where we were at, and we made the announcement, guys, the 80% deal is off the table. To the criminals who stole this, we want 100% back, or we will find you, because that's what we do. Within 1 week, the liquidity pool was returned in 3 different chunks, including the 3 BNB that they had stolen from us. We got cooperation from Binance, which we then didn't need. We didn't have to file the subpoena in court to get the records from Binance, but we have their cooperation if we need it. That's the process we would follow for any given case anyways. So what's interesting about this case is we're sitting here as a company supporting AscentPad. We're supporting its relaunch using our NFT project. And we have proof already that we can recover funds, that we can deliver on what we're promising investors in our project. So people buying into our project can have that level of confidence that not only are we saying this is what we do, we've actually done it. If you look up the Mirror Trading International case, on that case, I'm a forensic expert myself, along with Liam, and we've provided some forensic evidence to that case. That case currently in the news is reporting that we have recovered 40% of the funds. What's not in the news is the rest of the recovery, which will come out in the news a little bit later. I'm not at liberty to speak on anything else related to that case. So, AscentPad is focused on safety in the Web3 space. LayerOne brings further stability to AscentPad and their commitment to help market participants find legitimate projects that they can feel confident investing in. We're going to be using the rigorous vetting process of Seek token, and we're going to work closely with them to bring projects to the table. And we hope that what we've shared with you today gives you some confidence. We'd like to talk a little bit more about the Bronto NFT project too, because we feel a lot of participants don't really feel like NFTs are worth anything, and we want to show you what we did to make these ones special. But at the end of the day, after we have a little chat, maybe an informal chat around the NFT, we want to invite you to join us as we reward our communities with Toronto-sized bonuses in this case, and create a safer place for creating generational wealth for all NFT and blockchain enthusiasts. So please support our continuing effort to build the most powerful crime-fighting community on the planet. The fight isn't over, and we won't quit. So join us today and mint a Bronto. Thanks for listening thus far. If you have any questions, I'm sure the floor will be open soon, but I'm going to let the host ask some questions, and maybe we can delve a little bit into the NFT itself.
Impressive. Okay, along the line during your presentation, you said something about you securing investors from, malicious activities from project owners. And should any project do something? So I really want to understand with regards to what the something there should be. Rogues or maybe a failed project or
so the common terminology we use is a rug, but failed projects are different. Anyone who's been around in this space knows the difference. Failed project is one that starts, does really good, and just goes nowhere, but the project owners aren't stealing your money. The value of the project simply drops. That's all there is to it. A project like that with good founders would likely take remaining funds and say to the community, guys, what do you want to do? Do you want us to distribute this equally according to your share of tokens held? How would you like to wrap up the project, or would you like to take over? That's different. You see, that's a failed project. We are talking about rugs, guys that just take off with the money. And there's plenty of those. If you just watch Dex Tools for a couple hours one day, you'll see the rug projects come on, and they rug in about 20 minutes, all of them. So those are the ones we can go after because we are going to be holding their KYC information. That means we know their address, we know their government ID, we know the country they live in, and we can take it from there and process everything legally.
Okay, so do you have personnel from virtually every country that might need it? Because some countries might not allow you to do so, to take such actions, because you are just out of that jurisdiction to operate there.
So the process starts exactly as I already described when explaining what happened to us at AscentPad. So AscentPad was originally registered by Ascension Tech, Sean Powers, in Canada. At the time of the rug, he had not yet transferred everything to LayerOne. So in Canada, he registered with CAFT, which is linked then to the RCMP in Canada. That's the National Police Force. And to start the case, he went to his local police station and filed a police report, which they also took via email in his case. That's the starting point. We do not just by ourselves decide we're going into a country and we're going to take down these criminals. We can't do that. There is a legal process we have to follow. It all starts with the victims taking action to register the case legally first. Register with your authorities, get a case number, take that to a lawyer, get advice from the lawyer on next steps, and then we go from there. You have to bear in mind, though, something about rugs. In our case, it wasn't considered a big one. It was around $40,000. That's a lot of money in some countries. Even where I live, it's a lot of money, but it's not the millions that the average rugs, the big ones, are really taking with them. So what we had decided to do with the Crypto Bronto project, which we're looking at right now, is if there was someone who got defrauded, we can prove it and it's legit, we're just going to give them back the money, or we'll help them raise the money. We want to reduce the impact of crime in the Web3 space, and that's what we had already planned to do. So we're actually doing it already with the Crypto Bronto project by giving back to AscentPad and helping raise funds for them. So no, we can't just jump in and go into any country on our own. It all starts with that legal process. After legal, lawyers, after lawyers, then we invoke our private investigators. But bear this in mind. A private investigation can start at $10,000. So that's why we typically go after, if you look at there's about 1.3 billion involved in the MTI, Mirror Trading International case, and when it started, there was about 3 billion involved in the AfriCrypt case. In those cases, what we'll do is our private investigators, legal, and everybody will get involved. We'll get paid for the work we do, and then we charge a fee for the recovery of the funds in those cases. So we get a percentage, and then whatever they paid us already, we deduct that out of what our percentage is when we recover. So there's a huge incentive on our part in those cases to recover funds. But no, to answer your question, again, that was the long version. The short version is we don't need people in every country to go after them. The legal process starts with the victims, and then we follow the process from there. However, if our private investigators are needed, they are found in 72 countries around the world, and there are 420 of them.
That's, I mean, you really covered a very good knowledge spaces anyways. All right, so another thing that I want to ask with regards to getting this bad guy is, some countries don't really support crypto trading, and some of these devs can actually get into those countries and kind of KYC with you guys or get vetted by your at AscentPad, and at the end of the day they might rogue. But because the country, it is first and foremost, it is unspeakable for you to say you invested in crypto in such countries. You as an investor cannot really do anything about it. Is there a way you can help in that situation? Is that where Bronto comes in place, by refunding?
So again, it depends on the amount that's involved. However, we know most of the countries where the criminals can hide. If you're in one of those countries and you want to launch a project with us, we won't launch. We simply won't. We know those countries. One of which is there's a certain area of Nigeria that we know is governed much like South Africa. It's governed by local government, native government, and we already uncovered a Solana scam in 2021. We honeypotted, which is it's not a crypto honeypot. Excuse me. It's not a crypto honeypot. A cybersecurity honeypot is one where you invite someone to do something and you find out where they are from that. We honeypotted them. They used a cell phone. We found them on the MTN network. MTN in Nigeria doesn't quite have the same privacy laws that other countries do have. So they turned over log files to Sean Pierce, our private investigator, when he arrived in the country. He was going in for something else anyway, so he doubled up on this. But we ran into an area where the governance in that area it was traditional, and they handled the matter. We turned over the criminals to them. We would not actually allow a project from those areas to launch with us. They would have to be registered legally in another country.
Awesome. Okay, that was one of my fears, because they really know the rules, so they might just do it and be like, you can't touch me, this is where I am, come and do your worst. All right, moving away from that a little bit, I want to understand how much exactly would you be able to take care of, even if you couldn't catch those guys, you can actually afford with the Bronto scheme? How
much could we afford to repay? Is that what you're asking?
Sir.
You can't really answer that question, right? Because what we would do is raise funds, just like we're doing right now. So we would do something like this, set up a mint site, the Brontos, or our NFT platform would be used to raise funds. Let me explain to you why raising funds this way is very interesting in the case of a project like AscentPad. What we're doing is providing everyone who buys an NFT with something we call token credits. Now, as you know, a cryptocurrency is a token. So we are providing the NFT holders with token credits, which means they don't receive tokens, but they receive credit as if they held the amount of tokens they bought, whatever they paid for the NFT. What's interesting about this fundraising mechanism is that it's not impacted by bull or bear markets. Whatever you spend during a relaunch process like this, you will receive dividends in accordance with whatever you paid, because we've already got a fixed price. When the token goes live in the AscentPad case, it's going to be $0.004. When you pay your $140 for a Bronto NFT, you're going to get that number, $140 worth of token credits. When it comes time to dish out dividends at the end of the month, and we're going to do it monthly, you're going to get your percentage of those token credits. So it's a very cool mechanism for helping to raise funds to relaunch a project like what we're seeing here with AscentPad. So in terms of how much money do we have to refund anyone, look, if it's a couple $1,000s someone was defrauded of, we'd want to have some pretty hard evidence that, that you were defrauded. And if it's a couple $1,000s and we've got that money in the bank, we're obviously just going to refund it. We want to lighten the impact on victims from Web3 crime.
Awesome. I mean, what else can we really ask for? Okay, you said you had should I call it an affiliation with Binance when you recovered your liquidity pool? I also want to understand if this is a kind of partnership that is going to last for a long time, or just because of that crime that Binance actually felt like, okay, fine, let's get involved because these guys are doing this the right way.
So with Binance, we do not have a partnership. Binance as a legal entity is simply cooperating out of their own free will, out of their own goodwill. So when we come to them and we say, look, this is what's happened, we need some logs from XYZ, can you help us? They're going to say, yeah, let's follow the legal process. If we get a subpoena for them to turn over certain records, they'll turn them over. That's it. They're a company that wants to keep a good reputation in this space, despite the fact that most crime is committed on the Binance Smart Chain. And they do want to cooperate as much as they can. So we don't have a partnership. We don't have a relationship. We approach them like we would any legitimate business to gain their cooperation.
Okay, pretty understandable. I mean, I like Binance no matter what. Though a lot of scams are happening there every time. But I think at the most end of it, they are still one of the most reputable things out there. Okay, now let's talk about AscentPad, should I say, protocol itself. So you have 5-tier system, if you don't mind running us through how this tier system works.
So the tiered system was something that we wanted to do, which is different from Pink Sale. With Pink Sale, you pay Pink Sale X number of BNB to launch your token on Pink Sale, and then, sorry, just a little distracted by noises in the background here. Sorry about that. On Pink Sale, once you pay your BNB to launch your project, they'll say, well, you can pay us X amount to get us out of your hair, or give us some of your tokens, and most people will give them some tokens. The tokens are locked for a few months, and then as soon as they unlock, Pink Sale just automatically dumps the tokens you gave them and drives the price of your token down. That's a typical process with Pink Sale, DX app, and others. What we wanted to do was create a process that that differs and gives everyone a fair opportunity to buy into token launches. So tier 5 is actually the lowest one, which we may not introduce at our relaunch. We might introduce it later. It allows people to spend 1 to 500 or buy 1 to 500 AscentPad tokens and then stake them. There's no interest in staking, but basically you're staking an opportunity to buy into the next launch that comes up. You might want to buy into it. But what tier 5 is supposed to be is a lottery system. So you're buying a ticket for 100 ASP tokens. You can buy as many tickets as you want, depends on the launch. Though the owners of the projects are going to determine how many tickets they're going to give away to this. If you win the draw, you buy the ticket, someone is going to win, but the owner of the project who's launching might say, I want 5 winners out of 100 people. So 5 people are going to win. What they'll be allowed to do is invest at, say, a tier 3 level. So instead of buying 10,000 AscentPad tokens, those lottery winners who spent only 100, who bought only 100 ASP tokens, just got the opportunity to buy in. They don't receive those tokens, but they get to buy into the project launch with a higher amount of money. So each of these tiers equals a higher amount that you're allowed to invest. And you'll see typical investments. So tier 4 being the lowest, you might be allowed to invest a maximum of 1 BNB, but a tier 3 would be allowed to invest 2 BNB. A tier 2 would be allowed to invest 4 BNB, and maybe a tier 1 is allowed to invest up to 10 BNB in the project. So if you own this number of tokens and you stake this number of tokens, it allows you to buy into the launches at different levels. We only make money on the movement of the AscentPad token. We don't ask for anything from the launch from the project launches themselves. The projects that launch with us do have to be Seek certified. So there's a bit of a, oh, and Seek also, by the way, has given us a price for projects that want to launch with us. So if anybody here is going to create a project or wants to create a project and launch with us, anywhere else you get your Seek contract audit and your Seek KYC, you will pay double the price. We get a 50% discount for participants on our Launchpad with Seek. That's the cost of launching with us. That's it. We wanted a fair place for everybody to play. We wanted a safe place for people to play. We hope they have fun trading the ASP token. That's going to benefit everyone. We hope everyone lets everyone else know about coming to this Launchpad in the future to launch their projects with us. But someone told me the other day that we've kind of become more than just a Launchpad now that we've introduced NFTs, now that we've introduced Layer 1 and whatnot. So we would really love it if anyone with a creative mind here came up with a concept to name what we do as AscentPad, with our crime fighting community in the background, with our contract audit and KYC team at Seek, and with our NFT capabilities to help raise funds for other projects. We'd love to come up with a new name for this, but right now we're going to stick with AscentPad. There's the Launchpad. There's the tiers. Hope that that explained everything.
It do. All right. Okay. With regards to the name, ever since we had our first chat, I have been brainstorming on what really to give this awesome concept. And I mean, it's taking more time than it should, honestly speaking. Lots of names are out there already. I need to give it something that is really unique, because the concept itself is very unique as well.
Yeah, that's, we were in another AMA, and that's what we were told. And then I went, yeah, you know what, you're right. So I think the more we put this out there, we work with something else that, I don't normally mention, but we work with another estimated 20 NFT projects in the background with another group called IO, which is launching a social media platform that will compete with Twitter, but it has all the stuff that Twitter doesn't. So, for example, their social media platform doesn't track who you are with algorithms. They do need to know who you are, but they don't track you for targeted advertising. They don't sell your data or anything like that. And they've got a cool little mechanism built into their product too, where you can actually give people micro donations. So Telegram is missing a Twitter feature where people can put up their hand or applaud or give you a heart or a like or something like that. Twitter has that, Telegram doesn't. But IO is going to have something where you can do all of that plus something called micro donations using their native token, which is really cool. But they collab with about 20 other NFT projects. So we've got our fingers into a lot of different spaces. And I think that creative community might help us come up with a name for what we really do now. But we'll take it one step at a time. And if anyone here in the community comes up with something, feel free to speak out. Send me a DM or just drop it in the AscentPad Telegram, what you think we should be called.
Impressive. All right. There is this question I really have when you were telling us more about the TSC. I don't know what happened. But before then, you have your lottery system as well.
Yeah, I already mentioned the lottery system. It's like buying tickets that allows you, the project owners who decide whether or not to use the lottery system. We may not use this right at the outset, and we might drop it completely because it's quite complex in the background, but we'll dev it if everybody wants it. But the point was you could spend 100 ASP tokens and end up being able to invest in a project at a tier 3 level. That's what the lottery is.
Okay, so yes, I remember the initial question. That was about Seek partnering with you, and now you have 50% discount. Is it on their KYC alone that the teams that want to launch on AscentPad will be having this 50% discount when Seek KYC is with them?
So Seek does two things primarily. It's contract audits and KYC for the dev or founder of the project and any number of people. You will pay $1,500 to have one person KYC'd plus your contract audited with Seek if you go to them directly. We can offer that at a substantial discount of up to 50% if you come to launch your project with us.
Okay, awesome. All right. So with regards to this stake, I think you stake your AscentPad tokens. That's with regards to the tier system. You stake it and you are getting a guarantee entrance with regards to are you going to be giving this project that will be launching on your platform some kind of badges that will tally with the tiers of the AscentPad token staking section you are into?
Yeah. So as each project gets set up in the Launchpad, we'll determine how much a tier 1 investor is allowed to spend from their wallet on that project. So if they really like the project, they might want to spend all 10 BNB on it. But here's the thing, people that know how to game the system, you can have two different wallets where you have 25,000 AscentPad tokens in each wallet, and you can invest from both. You can stake from both wallets if you want. Go ahead and game the system. We're not discouraging that if that's what you really want to do. But yeah, basically stake the tokens. That just gives us some assurance that you're not dumping your tokens. That's all. But it guarantees your stake in and being allowed to invest up to a certain amount in an upcoming project.
Well, that's very nice. Okay, now with regards to, I want to ask you this question. I read it through your white paper, but I think I'll have to ask this one before that. Will you be, now you want to be refunding projects that failed through scamming? You want to help the community get back their fund. But when you come across these good guys that don't really want to rock the project, but because of funding, or maybe they get scammed along the line just to run proper marketing, and the project is about to fail because of funding, will you also be lending a helping hand to this project to make sure that this project did not fail, especially the ones that launches on AscentPad?
So something we want to add to the system is a ratings system. We're not going to just rate things based on what we believe is secure or insecure. We're also going to provide, the project owners will have to detail to their communities their plans. Projects that are failing, honestly, there's no one out there who's just going to say, oh, sorry, we're going to come rescue your project because it's failing. No one's really going to do that. The onus is ultimately on all of us as investors to decide whether or not we want to invest in a project, to take a look at what they're telling us. Yes, they're a quality project from a safety perspective. They're a quality project. Their contract doesn't have any black holes in it. We know that if they take off with our money, we can most likely get it back over time, but it doesn't prevent the project from failing. So in a failed project scenario, no, we're not going to reach out and rescue anyone. There's no plans to do that. That would be a failure of our own project if we were to do something like that, because so many projects do fail. We have to take responsibility for ourselves as investors to put our money where we think it's going to be best used. And investors that have long-term vision are the kind of investors we're really looking for. We're not going to promote pump and dump. So people that want to invest in those can stay with Pink Sale or just watch projects come alive on the blockchain through DX tools or something like that. We're launching long-term projects, so we're looking for solid, stable investors, both in our project and new ones we launch. And projects might fail for a while, maybe dip, but if they have solid people behind them, they'll come back to life in time. And never invest. We have to take responsibility as investors. Never invest more than you can afford to lose. That's the rule of thumb in this game. So no, we won't be rescuing projects and just saying, oh, sorry, you got your project's failing, we'll help you out. Well, what we are going to do is provide guidance, though, to projects. Right? So part of our audit process does include, guys, you shouldn't put this in, you should do this. Because here's something that I want to mention that Seek, if I can just talk for a second about Seek. Seek is a group of experienced investors that also want to help rid the crypto space of fraud. That's why we are working closely with them. They take an unbiased look at every project that they audit and do a risk assessment. Now, they're not financial advisors, but their risk assessment will at least let people know whether or not this is worth looking at. Here's something they do that Hacken, one of the most popular audit companies on the planet, does, and Certic. They also have a very popular audit that you'll spend $30,000 getting a project audited on. But you'll come to Seek and spend $1,500, and that's it. But what's the difference and what makes Seek better? Seek does everything that Hacken and Certic does, but they do at least 6 more things if we look at a bullet point list of exactly what they do, and I don't have it with me, but they actually look at the project website. They look at things that are said on the website. They examine the project socials to see what kind of messaging is being put out there. Are there Discord and Telegram participants for the project? Are they real or just all bots? Seek does that, which goes beyond what the other project auditors do, and that's what's going to make projects that come to us just that little bit better. That still doesn't negate project failure. That'll happen. Markets go up, markets go down. We all have to take responsibility for our own investments, unfortunately.
Yes, I agree with you. At the end of the day, it's do your own research and make your own financial decision yourself. All right. Next on my question, guys. Yes, if you still have a question, guys, just throw your hand up. I'll start meeting people in that time. So next question I have here is, you are welcoming community opinion, and you've actually beckoned on this community to join you and, have anything they want to throw up as with regards to ideas that work for you. You're going to look into it. So I want to know if along the line you will be trying to implement a DAO into this ecosystem to kind of give you a more precise decision with regards to community feedback.
DAOs I've worked with a few DAOs. We all know where all of those DAOs are today. Last year they were the buzz. This year they no longer exist. A lot of them were based on Ponzi-nomics. So Ponzi schemes where first investors are the ones that are going to get out with all their money. Some are still popping up today, but in terms of a DAO that makes money, no. Are we going to call ourselves a DAO? No, not likely ever. But are we going to welcome community feedback? Yeah, absolutely. We have a Discord where feedback can be a lot more controlled there, where ideas can be shared, and you can have a nice chill space to chat with all the idea makers in a slightly more a different environment than an AMA where everybody comes to just learn new things. So we will always take community feedback, but will we become a DAO? No.
Perfect. Okay, I see a hand up. I will want to bring him in if you don't mind, Kelvin.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, Benjamin, go ahead. Shoot your question. Benjamin, I've unmuted you. All you have to do is also unmute yourself on the screen and go ahead and shoot your question, brother.
Maybe Benjamin rugged. Uh-oh.
He's here. Okay, while we wait for Benjamin, probably he's going to speak later on, but for now, let me still ask the next question I have for you. So you said in your white paper that you will, I don't know how to stretch that out, but how do you really intend to make the 20x dream of every project or most project that launches on your, you had it on red, isn't it? I'm curious to know how you're going to make that happen.
Yeah, this white paper is outdated. I've even republished one today, but the caching servers haven't released the new one just yet. But there's only minor changes to it. Yeah, I saw that in there today. I was reviewing it. This was written by the original founder mainly. All I did was edit it and clean it up and update where we're at in terms of phase 3 on the roadmap. 20xing a project, a lot of I think it's up in here somewhere. I'm just looking for it. Sorry, I'm just scrolling by wildly here looking for that. But
it was written
there. It is. Yeah, 20x return on all projects launched through AscentPad. I think that was more marketing than anything on Sean's part. And we all know that last year, when this was conceived in 2021, 20x was minor. Projects would 100x or more easily. So he felt 20x at the time was a good target. I actually plan to remove that. That for me is a marketing thing, and I don't think that's a reasonable thing to promise anyone. What we are going to do is work with projects to build launch pressure similar to what we're doing for our own project right now, holding AMAs with them, joining their AMAs, letting the world know about them. We will have a listing page, and we're going to work with Seek and we're going to try to find projects that Seek lists, and we'll bring them across to our page, give them an opportunity to talk to potential investors on our side, and we'll bring them to communities like yours. We'll bring them to other call communities as well and spread the word about them. But are we going to be able to make a 20x return when they launch? Who knows? So you can expect that to be taken off of the white paper soon.
Can I ask my question now?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Regarding your NFT, what are the categories of NFT and how do I get them? Are they after buying minting for the NFT? am I going to randomly get a certain category? Thank you.
Yeah, it's a good question. We didn't categorize these NFTs. So the Bronto collection is a collection of 10,000 random NFTs. We've actually hidden them. So one of the interesting things that we've decided to do with this artwork, and I can show you some, I can show you one or two official NFTs, but there is a page right on the website where you can get a kind of a glimpse, and it's not even the best ones, but if you read the Bronto story, you'll get a bit of a glimpse of what the Brontos actually look like. And as we promised, they're family friendly, clean lines, innocent childhood, bright colors. But that's only that's a basic Bronto there. And then they grow and they morphed into getting funny parts. And we did several layers on these. Then we added clothing and other things to them, and I've got a couple I can actually share with you. The real ones, I can show you some of the real ones that are out on the blockchain, but you'll have to mint to get to them. We don't categorize them, so no, you don't get extra for this and you get something less for that, but they do have rarities. And something else we did with them besides rarities, and we actually put it here in their story, the word secrets, if you can see that there in the bottom right. This one right here that you're looking at right now has more than a dozen secrets hidden in the artwork, which you can only see if you zoom in. It's embedded in the artwork, but not as a trait that would show up as a rarity on OpenSea. It's actually in the artwork, so rarity snipers can't snipe some of the rarest of these NFTs. And it's a real gamble as to what you're going to get. They are completely randomized, so they didn't start out simple and then get more complex. So I was just looking through some before the AMA today just to tell you right now, I can tell you right now that in the group of NFTs that we want to mint for AscentPad, somewhere between where we're at right now and Bronto number 600, there are a couple of very rare Brontos just in these first few hundred. So what we've done is hidden them. So when you mint, they won't be revealed until we actually mint about 7,500 of these. Like I said, this requires an NFT requires a long-term vision. Like every piece of artwork, when the Mona Lisa was first painted, what was she worth? Probably nothing, and probably some farmer thought it was just a joke. And today, the value of that piece of art is just off the chart. NFTs as art are going to appreciate over time. That there's no question about that. It's artwork. But ours is more than that. With our NFT, in the future NFT platform we build, you're going to receive dividends from this NFT. What we did for AscentPad is we also included the AscentPad dividends if you mint a Bronto up to number 600. And those are the only ones that will ever receive dividends from two different projects over time, in addition to their rarities and value when we finally do a reveal of these Brontos. So I know that was the long answer you weren't expecting. Short answer is we do not have categories, but there are different ones. As you've seen here, they progress in their complexity, shape and style, and they've got sniperless traits built in.
Beautiful artwork. Thank you for your answer. Great.
Something else that we wanted to do with the artwork was we did create a backstory. Go have a look at it if you get time. It's short, but it's kind of cool. It's a bit funny how they ended up on Ethereum. We wanted to keep this completely family friendly. You know, most NFTs out there today, they're all like, they're mean and vicious and rebellious. And they've got all that going for them, and everybody loves a rebel for some reason. We decided to go the other way. Let's just keep it simple, keep it fun, keep it friendly, but bury something inside these things that makes them worth it over time. And I can tell you, these ones you're looking at here on screen, every single one of these has a secret built into it that you can only see if you zoom in. If you guys want to, I can give you a little taste of what the secrets look like in these Brontos, but I won't do that. I don't want to bore everybody. Only if the community wants to see these in a little more detail. We still have an alpha announcement to come out, just saying, so don't run away.
Kindly go ahead and do it. You want to see?
Okay, they've been hiding in the background. So these are the official Brontos, but these ones are actually stored on the blockchain right now as of today. Let me just take a look at I think it was number 290, which is yet to be minted. So if anyone's paying attention and you want to mint a good one, I mentioned 290. Let me just try and find it, but I'll confirm for you. 1 sec. 290. Yes. This is actually a special one that's minted for one of 5 different projects that we are collabing with on these. So something unique about our artwork that's even unique in the NFT space. These are 8K in size, which means they're so big we can hide stuff in them. No one does artwork that big. The second thing is the secrets I've been telling you about. No one can snipe those secrets. Here's another piece for security, since we are a safety-oriented company. I'm still zooming in, by the way. I'm just going to move to the right of the NFT and make sure I'm at the bottom. I'm still scrolling to the right. So big that when you're zoomed in, it takes a long time to get to where you want to go. Let me just zoom out a bit. There we are. Okay, I wasn't at the bottom. So this is stamped into every NFT. This is NFT number 290, and there's the DNA for it. That is a 100% unique DNA. There is only one of these NFTs that ever exists. None of the 10,000 NFTs are duplicated. They'll have similar traits as with all NFTs. So somebody will have the same hat, but the combination of every single NFT is 100% unique. Robbie Rhino is a project that was just last week absorbed by the IO project. And Robbie Rhino is a secret agent rhinoceros. There are only, I believe, 10 or maximum 20 NFTs in the entire 10,000 that have the Robbie Rhino official logo on them. So it's not exactly a secret, but there's a little bit of a secret we've built in. Here's another one. Do not push is not visible. Here's another one. It actually says juice here. There's a warning, but lo and behold, the warning actually has a warning on it. Robbie Rhino. This device is protected by a highly trained secret agent. Device is best shaken, not stirred. Lock out power and contact a Bronto before servicing. There's some awesomeness inside. More features. The BASA, Bronto Aeronautics Space Administration. And funny little things like this that you'll find in strange places. There's actually a logo on the antenna, if you can see that, with Wi-Fi symbol. Now, let's get to the fun stuff. These are actually branded glasses, laser band. We figured copyright, they wouldn't come after us. Ray-Ban, they'll leave us alone. And then in the sunglasses themselves, we hid an IO. This is the logo for the AIOW, the all-in-one wallet, or the IO guys who are creating the social media platform. Their favorite phrase is "You are awesome." So we hid that inside the Bronto. And sometimes there's more. Some Brontos have more, some have less. On the surface, they look like a nice, clean, cool piece of art. Like I said, family friendly. That's just a brief tour of one of them. That one is number 290. That would be one of the rarest ones out there. There are more that look cool and different. I'll just bring these up a little bit bigger. I am officially Canadian, so we had one here that looks a little bit Canadian. I don't know if you picked that up, but anyway. Some Dilbert, a diver, somebody with leopard spots. Anyway, they're all goofy, just like you'd expect from a collection of NFTs. Every single one of them is 100% unique. And we hope you enjoy them. If you mint one, enjoy. Wait for it. We hope to do a release, a reveal, and have a reveal party, but it won't be for quite some time unless this community suddenly rallies and we mint out. Wow. If we mint out, we're going to be building our NFT marketplace a lot sooner rather than later, and we'll start earning more dividends for everyone and create that safer place for NFT and token community participants. Hope you enjoyed that.
Sure I did, man. Cool stuff.
Okay, let me ask you something. You just showed us the hidden secrets of number, I think, 291, right? That was the number, right?
290.
Okay, 290. Awesome. So you showed us the secret numbers. Don't you think these secrets can be manipulated now because we are all on VC while you did it?
Somebody can wait for Bronto 290 to be minted When you connect your wallet here, you'll see which Bronto number has already been minted, and you're going to mint the next number. So when you see 289, you're going to want to mint here, and you'll get number 290 if you want that. I think that's a long way to go out of a project of 10,000 to manipulate just one. But if you really want to manipulate, manipulation's really not, it's really not possible. We love secrets so much, we actually hid a secret right here on the front page. Because you're talking about secrets and potential manipulation, we even made it possible for somebody to manually try to find all the secrets. You'll notice this whole block right here is clickable. If you accidentally click on it, you'll actually find the secrets. We put in here all the secrets that are stashed throughout the Brontos, but remember there are different combinations of the secrets. So different combinations people will automatically put their own value on those. These are the 5 communities listed here: IO, Hashlip, Sketchy Labs, Utopian Renaissance, and Robbie Rhino. We've hidden some secrets in a very select, very rare items related to just those 5 projects. And then the secrets themselves are all listed here. We reveal what the secret should look like, but we kept it black and white for the most part, except for ones that didn't look bright in black and white. And we did not necessarily orient these in the same orientation as you'll find them in the Brontos, but they're all listed here. I think we may have missed some too, but we tried to get them all. That's the list. And if you get to the end, there's one more secret. If you mouse over that, you'll notice that's clickable, but I'm going to let you guys discover that one on your own. I don't think anybody can snipe those. It's going to be really, really hard because those don't show up as traits on OpenSea. So anyway.
That's nice. Okay. Manity, I don't know if you still have another question, or is that all from you?
No, that is all I have to ask. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, brother. Okay, there is this question I wrote down. It's really a very long question. So because I was reading your website, your white paper, and I realized there was a place you said we can actually buy in maybe a project as a launch.
Sorry, you broke up there. We'll just wait for you to come back.
Sorry, brother. Telegram muted me back again.
Yep, you're back. Okay, again?
Thank you. So you said on your white paper that we can actually buy into a project that is launching on AscentPad, maybe from Solana. We can actually buy BUSD, and when it launches, we will be getting the token on Solana chain. So
yeah, that's another thing. That's another thing that's got to come out of the white paper in terms of Solana. We're only launching projects on BSC for now, but I don't think that's going to affect your question.
Okay, if you're only launching on BSC now, it means that question is automatically irrelevant now.
Oh, okay. Well, look, we may like immediately. We're only going to be launching on BSC just because it's the most popular place. So we need to generate, for our community, for our loyal community, we want to generate the most revenue possible out of the gate. So we're going to have to launch on BSC first. We may introduce launches on other blockchains later. If we do, let's assume Solana, and let's address that question.
All right. So the question is, because you said that, now I start getting curious. Maybe a project is launching at Solana, then I sent a BUSD equivalent of Solana at that point that the project is about to launch. That will be, kind of around maybe $10 BUSD. Now it is now in stablecoin, and maybe the project is yet to launch on your platform and Solana dips maybe 20-30%. My question is, because the fund I sent you is in stablecoin, will I be able to get more of the token that I'm supposed to get when I sent it to you? Let's say I'm supposed to get, when I sent that 10 BUSD to you to buy into the project, I'm supposed to get maybe 3 pieces of that token. But because Solana went down in price, am I supposed to get over 3 pieces of the token, or I'll be getting exactly what I paid for in the initial place?
That's a good question, because your question addresses all blockchains. So remember that Solana is just the blockchain that the project would launch on. That's not the project's token. So we could use AscentPad as an example. We're launching on the Binance Smart Chain, but our token is ASP, or it'll be ASP V2. We're going to launch at an ASP V2 price of $0.004. So when you send your BSD in to buy your ASP tokens for that project, you're going to get exactly that amount of tokens, regardless of the value of BNB at launch time. Same with Solana. So Solana, the value of Solana at launch time is irrelevant, because that's the blockchain that the project is launching on, but the project has their own native token, and they set their seed round price, they set their private sale price, pre-sale price, and public sale price. They could have up to 4 different price values for their native token. Their token would be token XYZ. So when you give $5 of BUSD and token XYZ is going to be worth 1 cent, you're going to get $5 worth of XYZ tokens. The price of Solana at the time of launch is irrelevant.
So,
Does that make sense?
yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Thank you. Okay, lastly, now, could I even say lastly? All right, at this point, you have partnership with Seek, which is impressive. I want to know if there are other projects. Okay, you said you have partnership as well with IO, right? The NFT company. So is there any other partnership you have right now, or some other you are going for at this moment?
Good question. Our primary partnership is our primary partnerships are IO and Seek. So it's IO, Seek, and then AscentPad, Crypto Bronto, and of course the AscentPad Crypto Bronto company that's backing it is LayerOne.Cloud. At this point, we don't have any other partnerships per se. We do work with others like breadcrumbs.app. We use their product that's founded by someone out of Canada, Winnipeg, Canada, actually. And it's used for tracing money on the Ethereum and Bitcoin blockchains. So we do work with others, but we're not officially really partnered with them in that sense. So if there are others that the community might suggest we partner with, we can always take a look at it. Remember, what we want to do is build the biggest, we want to build the biggest community of crime fighters on the planet. So we want to rope in guys that are like Jim Browning on YouTube. He actually finally busted some scammers in India just last week. Trilogy Media also on YouTube, and others like them. We want to start working with them more closely to kind of pool our resources of crime fighting people and those who hate criminals in this space. So we're naturally open to partnering with absolutely anyone that you can think of along those lines. Feel free. But right now, no other special partnerships like, we're going to list on CMC or something like that. No, not at this time.
Okay, all right. I just want to ask again, since you're trying to help people recover their funds and going to the extent of trying to fund them back just in case it happens that you couldn't really get those funds lost back to them. If a company or an individual that is able to help you with this funding maybe reestablish the project again, and when the bounce is back, the project will be paying them back from their revenue generated, their profit, will you accept people to partner with you to kind of get easy access to the project that might need this help that launches on AscentPad? Yeah, absolutely. Like we're all for working with people who want to give back. That's what our Give Back, Get Back campaign is all about. Give back to AscentPad by minting a Bronto, get back some rewards. If people are willing to give back by giving their time to help us accomplish a task, we have no problem taking, funds we recover. If funds we recover if a portion of that's going to come to us, we're going to share that with the community. We have no reason not to. And we're going to absolutely treat everyone fairly. So if you contribute to a recovery, we want to give you something in return. It's only fair, right? I think that was your question. Actually, the question was if you're going to be partnering with such persons. Partnering in what sense? Yeah. Yes, partnering in the sense that they will come to you for easy access to actually get to this project that might need their help. And it's a kind of business mindset for them, but it will be a win-win for everybody. So let's say a project team got scammed, a project got scammed or maybe launched on your pad and then failed, because you cannot really help them resurrect them back because that is not what you are for. But there might be an individual that might walk up and say, okay, fine, since you have a nice concept and because you don't have resources to push it, let me fund you at this point. So when they gain traction and things start going well for them, they will be paying the individual back with interest, that kind of thing. So if they walk up to you, maybe an individual or a group of persons or a company, will you partner with them to render such services? Right. You're suggesting we fund the recovery. So
We would do that on a case-by-case basis. It really does depend on the case itself. But we are not opposed to doing that. Of course, that does make sense at one point. If we don't have the expertise in a certain thing, why not get someone else to help us? And that's what Breadcrumbs is doing. You'll notice that LayerOne Cloud, this is the company that backs Crypto Bronto and AscentPad. That's our company. We're listed in the investigator directory on Breadcrumbs right now, and we've listed our cases here because what we're saying we do is we recover stolen cryptocurrency and we do forensics, and all three of these cases are related to that. So if we've got someone who wants to partner with us to help in a recovery and we need to fund that, if we've got funds, why wouldn't we do that? We would work something out so that if we recover, we get funds back from the funds that we've recovered. That's exactly what we're doing in the MTI case and in AfriCrypt.
Okay, you covered community incentivization. You also covered a little bit of your marketing at this point, which is creating awareness through AMAs. Are there other things you're doing now since you're not ready to launch yet with regards to marketing?
I think the last thing we want to mention today is to just stay tuned. If you're considering minting a Bronto, the last thing we're going to do is we're going to change the mint price. So I wanted to ask everybody here, right now a Bronto costs about $140 to mint. That's 0.09 ETH at today's price. It's about $140 to mint, which makes it quite high. Something we've been failing to tell everybody, which I'm going to just update this page on the website a little bit on, is that minting a Bronto is the only way to get into the private sale where you can actually buy in BUSD some ASP tokens rather than just have a Bronto and get token credits. So your ticket to the private sale is a Bronto, but $140 is a bit high for some to get into, although we've minted plenty. I think there's some communities that might find that out of reach. Do you think lowering the mint price would gain more market participation? Like, would anybody here be interested in minting Brontos if we were to lower the price of the Brontos? You guys are the first ones to hear about this, by the way, just FYI. We just put this privately in our Discord a little while ago. We never told anybody what exactly, but we are going to lower the price because we want more participants. Would that help this community?
It will. Should we decide to mint some?
So the question is, we're sitting at 0.09 ETH. What would you like to see the price? And don't say free. Don't say 0.1 or 0.01. You know, it can't be next to nothing. We've got to raise some funds, and we can only get to Bronto 600. That's a commitment we've made. At Bronto 600, we stop this process. Everything after that goes to the Bronto project.
Yeah, I get it. You know, truth to me is, person like me, I cannot really throw more than $100 into minting an NFT, at least for now. But somebody here might be willing to mint an NFT, maybe $500, $250, $1,000, $1,500. There are some really NFT freaks out there, and we have a good chunk of people who joined the group recently. So you never can tell what individual capabilities or abilities is until the person speaks up, isn't it?
No, that's true. That's true. And the reality is this: minting a Bronto is your ticket to the private sale. So we're not going to do, hey, go retweet this and play any kind of games. Go into Bronto, you automatically qualify for the private sale. We're going to do a max of 2 BNB per person, or the value of it's about $600. We're going to max out everyone's buy-in at $600 per wallet. So if you want to mint more, mint one Bronto into 2 different wallets, that gives you the ability to buy into the private sale at $0.004 when we go private sale. And we'll make sure everybody knows about that. But something why I'm talking about lowering the price, and I think some might go, hey, wait, but that's going to devalue my Bronto that I already own. And what's going to happen to my tokens and the value of my tokens? Well, here's the cool thing about what we did. We made sure that we did this so that it is 100% fair. Remember, we've already set a token price of 0.004. So whatever you spend on a Bronto, you get that many token credits. So if you spent $140 on a Bronto, you get $140 worth of token credits. If we lower the price to $100, you're going to get $100 worth of token credits. But the person who spent $140, we already know how much he spent because we know exactly the price of Ethereum at the time they mint everything. And we are allocating token credits 100% fairly according to that measurement. So nobody loses when we do this. We're just really opening it up to more market participants. So you figure $100 would be a more fair. So we'd lower the price to 0.06. Okay, interesting.
Thank you. Yeah, at $100, I believe you will get more people to buy into it. And a person like me, whenever you launch, I'll be interested to get on board as well. So I will be needing an NFT definitely. But I can't really throw up a more, But for now, I don't know. Maybe moving forward, I will be able to do that. If you understand what I mean?
Yep. No, so I do 100%. So here's what we originally did. Everybody that mints, so on this page, you'll see something here written 120% token credits to you. In order to get that, you need to mint 10 Brontos. But if we lower the price, it means you would have to mint more, because the Brontos are, for us, these are very valuable NFTs. These ones right up to number 600 are very special, very valuable NFTs. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to drop the price of the Brontos. So please watch this space. Follow us on Discord. Follow us on Twitter. Join our join our Telegram. You've already joined the Telegram. Sorry. Jump into our Discord. We'll put the message out in all of those places when we drop the price, and I'm going to drop it very, very soon. So today or tomorrow, and then we'll announce it. We're going to drop it to 0.03. So the price for minting less than $50. So basically, 0.03 at current prices is $47. That leaves you $3 for paying for gas fees on the Ethereum blockchain. So we're going to lower it to 0.03 for a very short period of time. If this community really wants to jump in, I want to do it. You guys are the first ones that have heard it, so this is your opportunity. We're going to do it just for you guys. I do plan to put the price up to 0.06. But I would have to do that if we were to suddenly mint 100 or 200 of these things. I'd have to put it back up again, because remember, this is a fundraising campaign at the end of the day. But we want to make it interesting and fun for everyone and make sure everybody gets rewarded fairly. That's why we're doing a token credit thing. This is your ticket to the private sale where you can buy in BUSD at the end of the day. Just remember that. So you really only need to mint one if you just want one. And then you can buy in BUSD when we do the private sale in the coming weeks. Depends on if we reach our target. If we mint out to 600, that puts us very close to doing our private sale, and then we will have the dev money we need, and the devs will get on board, and we'll get the part of the project necessary up and running so that everybody can go and have fun in the marketplace when we're ready to launch. We should be able to do that right after the private sale. Anyway, bottom line, we're going to drop the price to 0.03. That's $50 to mint a Bronto. If you mint 30 Brontos, we're going to give you 20% more. When we give you that 20% more of Brontos, it will be based on the value that you've already invested. And you're going to earn token credits on those additions. So that's, you mint 30 and you're going to get 6 more Brontos earning dividends, and that's your 120%. There you go. Because we're dropping the price down to 1/3, we need to mint 3 times as many in order to achieve the bonus, the 20% bonus. Awesome. So have fun with that, guys. This is the first community to hear that. Stay tuned. We'll lower that price. And we really hope you guys join us in creating a safer place as we build the most powerful crime-fighting community on the planet. Let's not give up. Let's plot ahead. Enjoy minting a Bronto today. And if you have any questions or need any help, I'm always around on Telegram or Discord.
Thank you, brother. Thank you very much. All right, I think that's all I've got for you. Okay, sorry, I muted you, say Prosper. Prosper, go ahead with your question before we round it up.
Okay. Good afternoon, guys. Can you hear me from here?
Clearly,
we can, Prosper.
Your
go ahead.
Is pretty noisy.
Kelvin, basically, I heard every piece of what you said, and it was really, really nice, I must confess. Basically, I just want to ask about the community.
Prosper,
I just want to emphasize.
Prosper,
yes.
Sorry to cut you off, brother. Your background is very noisy. Can you kind of shift a little bit from where you are, please?
Can you hear me now? Actually, I'm on the way, do. Can you hear me like this?
All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. I was trying to commend Kelvin for a job well done concerning the project. And basically, I just want to emphasize my question on the community, to be precise. I want to ask, what are the plans that the team have to actually make the community continue growing, like continue enlarging, expanding, forthcoming EMAs coming up for the community and the likes? I just want to ask.
So if I understood your question, it was a bit noisy. You're asking, do we have funds to continue doing AMAs and and marketing project. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, and what are your plans for you to probably enhance the growth of the community? To enhance the growth of the community,
Yeah, good question. So from the mint itself, you may have noticed the tokenomics listed here. 5% of the mint is going to go to the artist, 5% to the contract developer. And the contract, I'm talking about the contract developer specifically for the Crypto Bronto NFT contract. That 5% is actually built into the contract because that guy, that's Hashlips, he gives everything away. It's open source. We gave him that. But the next line, 10% of the mint is going to marketing. We are going to use those funds to continue joining into other AMAs, supporting other groups that want to create a safer place for us. And beyond that, once we start generating revenue from the project itself, the 5% that comes to us for development, a portion of that has to be used for the exact same thing. Some buybacks, burns, marketing. That's what's in our plans for growing the community.
Okay. That was a nice one. So I'm looking forward to working with you guys, Kelvin.
Awesome. Glad to have you aboard.
Yeah. Thanks, Hitman. Thanks for the opportunity.
You're most welcome, brother. Thank you for your input. All right. Before we round it up, Mr. Kelvin, do you have any job whatsoever for out there right now that you're putting up for the community or anybody who wants to approach it? Maybe designing, maybe moderating, maybe different language speaking community admins, like Indian, Chinese. You have any job whatsoever out there?
At this point, no. We're very low budget. We are in recovery mode. we're minting to make our money, and 10% of the mint isn't really that much. However, we are going to need to grow that space. So you're the first person I think that's asked me that, and that's a good question. We'll probably have to talk offline about that a little bit. Just what can we do? What will it cost? Because this is an area of this space that I am not familiar with, to be honest. I'm an infrastructure guy, IT for 30 years, cybersecurity for 30 years. That's my forte. Running a business, perhaps, but marketing in this space. And hiring moderators and the like. Good question. I hadn't thought of that, but we definitely need to plan that for the future as we grow. Thanks for bringing that up.
All right, thanks, Matt. We talk about it later on. All right, I wanted to round it up. I think, Emir, you have something to show in. Emir, do you need that agent title, please? You're mute, though. Agent Emir. All right, since you don't have anything to say. Go ahead, Ogali, next. 10 seconds, and if you don't ask your question, please, I will round it up at this point. Ogali next. Any of you who have anything to ask, go ahead, ask it. All right, I think they just threw up their hand just to get unmuted, and maybe they don't really want to ask questions. I believe it's been an awesome presentation so far. Very clear explanations, precisely described concept, and which is very, very compelling. All right, at this point, we'll be calling it a day, unless you have any other thing you want to add to the community.
No, from my side, that's it, really. If you're tired of getting scammed, please join us. Please support us. Go Mint to Bronto. And we'll advertise the new lower price once we've set that up on the Mint, which I'm going to get to straight away. So expect the announcement very, very soon.
Brother, definitely, I'm tired of getting scammed, so I'm getting on board. All right, that being said, thank you, Mr. Kelvin, for choosing our community today to share with us your awesome concept and the awesome team behind it. And thank you once again for your patience and time and dedication towards making this space a better place and a very free, conducive place for all of us. I really appreciate that. It's a nice gesture. Please keep it up. And that being said, that's all from SOD Hitman Calls today. Thank you for coming.